Today's subcommittee hearing of Oversight and Investigations is allegations of discrimination and retaliation within the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Without objection, the chair is authorized to declare a recess of the subcommittee at any time. And without objection, members of the full committee who are not members of the subcommittee may sit on the dais and participate in today's hearings. I will now recognize myself for 4 minutes for the purposes of an opening statement. On March 6, 2004, the American Banker published an article titled CFPB Staff Evaluations Show Sharp Racial Disparities. The article exposed serious personnel problems at the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, including evidence that, quote, the CFPB's own managers have shown distinctively different patterns in how they rate employees of different races. According to the confidential agency data reviewed by the American Banker, the article claimed that the CFPB managers show a pattern of ranking white employees distinctively better than minorities in performance reviews used to grant raises and issue bonuses. Overall, whites were twice as likely in 2013 to receive the agency's top grade than were African American or Hispanic employees, end quote. In addition to racial disparities at the CFPB's performance reviews, the American Banker also reported that CFPB's management has been accused in several cases of favoring Caucasian men and of creating a hostile work environment. The article noted that the CFPB employees had filed 115 official grievances with the National Treasury Employees Union, which represents CFPB employees, and over 85 informal complaints. This number is high given the CFPB's total staff is roughly 1,300, but in reality the number of aggrieved is likely to be much higher, as our witnesses will testify to the fact that the fear of retaliation has a real chilling effect on the employees willing to come forward with their grievances. Over the past several weeks, and mostly since the publishing of the American Banker article, a number of CFPB employees and former employees have contacted this committee as well as my personal office seeking to tell their story. To be frank, having served on the Oversight and Government Reform Committee, in addition to this committee, over the past 9 years, I've yet to witness an outpouring of employee complaints from a federal agency as I have seen in the past several weeks. Unfortunately, the whistleblower who has voluntarily come forward today to tell her story of both discrimination and retaliation is a representative of the much broader problem that has been presented in the American Banker article. These allegations of discrimination and retaliation at the CFPB underscore the need for congressional oversight. They are also deeply disturbing to the public at large. Members of both parties have long recognized the importance of congressional oversight. I quote today President Woodrow Wilson, who said, "Quite as important as legislation is vigilant oversight of administration. It is the proper duty of a representative body to look diligently into every affair of government and to talk much about what it sees. Unless Congress both scrutinizes these things and sifts them by every form of discussion, the country must remain in embarrassing, crippling ignorance of the very affairs which it is important, most important, that it should understand and direct," end quote. I'd like to thank our witnesses for coming forward today. Ms. Martin, it does take a lot of bravery and courage to come forward and to speak publicly about what you've been through. I understand the past 2 years have been a nightmare in your work environment and incredibly difficult for you, and I appreciate you coming forward to share your experience. Ms. Ryuchi, thank you so much as an independent third-party investigator. We greatly appreciate your willingness to travel to Washington to share your knowledge in this case and more generally what you saw over the 6-month investigation at the CFPB.